Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the session of today. I'm Ramesh Singh, joining you from Delhi. Hope I am well audible and visible to you all. You can mark in my previous sessions, some of the viewers were interested to know things related to newspapers, and you know it very well. Why we refer newspapers? The singular reason being we want to familiarize ourselves with the current happenings related to various aspects of general studies, right from economy to history to geography to science to it all. So I thought, let me plan few sessions on current affairs. And here, one of the first session is here. Good evening, Tanil. I hope I am visible and audible to all of you. Please reply. So, in coming weeks, as film of 2023 is getting closer and closer, so I will schedule my YouTube sessions on current affairs, tips on picking news items from newspapers, how to use India 2023, which had been recently published for your PT exam. And no need to say, for other exams also. So you can see today's session is planned on current affairs, which you normally listen from the experts, from IS aspirants and teachers also. If you are preparing for civil service exam, so you should be abreast with current affairs. What current affairs is, you have some idea. But today's session I have planned on how much current affairs should be. This is the central idea of this session. And I would like to give you some tips to make you understand and feel when you are reading newspapers, referring government documents or publications, how to know whether it's a news which can be classified as current affairs or not. This is the attempt of this session. Very good evening, Ganita Prashar. Welcome to the session. If you have got any query, any doubt, you are welcome with them. I would like to include them in my session of today. So let's move on. As you can see, the first subtitle which I am going to discuss, that is the general perception. What it means, what is general perception about current affairs among the civil services aspirants? Okay, so I give you a simple idea what we generally believe, what current affairs actually is. The first thing is that the most important thing, you can call it very important. Normally, it is believed if an examination is taking place every year, I mean, if an examination takes place on annual basis, 1 year's news items are considered current affairs. What I mean to say is suppose CSC 2023 PT is going to take place late May 2023. For this exam, from which month to which month, we should consider things will be called current affairs. Simply put, you go 1 year, 1 year backward. This is what general perception is. It means normally a student should prepare from take it a bit in healthy manner. Normally it is believed May 2022 to May 2023. This period of time is actually 1 year conservatively. Okay, so we can consider this period as current affairs. This is general perception. Okay, uh, you cannot say June. Why I called you May? Because it is 13 months. It is not precisely 12 months. It is 13 months. Because if you pick news of May 22, so May 22 is a year which can be considered as the benchmark for this year's May. That is why I have added one additional month to 1 year. So I am writing here 1 year and I am taking 13 months. I have done that intentionally, because normally you can pick from June 22 onwards up to May 23. Clear? Ab, the issue is that the month in which PT takes place, for example, this year it is going to take place late May. So can we expect questions from May also? Yes, you can, very much. You can very much expect questions from May 2023. Be prepared. One question or two questions they might ask you. There is no guarantee, but this is how it is asked. Up now, this is the perception which most of IS aspirants and civil service aspirants have about current affairs. And no need to say that current affairs includes current news items and current events related to whole area of your general studies: geography, environment, science, technology, history, economics, polity, governance, a variety of things. Because for general studies, the syllabus which UPSC has prescribed for PT exam, that is highly reflective in nature. It doesn't say anything where from questions might be asked. How we decide what sort of questions might be asked in the exam? We decide it with the help of multiple things. The first is what syllabus UPSC has prescribed, the first thing. The second thing, what sort of questions have been asked in previous years. And the third is that which things were making news in recent time. Clear? That is the basis which help you to know it. What exactly current news is, what current events are, what current affairs are. Clear? Actually, Tanil, the problem is that you ask me which newspaper is the best newspaper. Okay, the best is never made. The problem is that The second thing is that why you read newspaper. You read newspaper to only have idea what was in news yesterday and which news you search. You particularly search government news and official news, which might be highlighted by a newspaper, but it may not be covered in full length. So you pick clue and get idea from newspaper, and then you visit the ministerial website or Press Information Bureau website, because on PIB website full press release is published, and then you get the wholesome material on that particular current event. I hope you got the point, Tanil. For economy, you can stick with any national newspaper, that hardly matters, because much analytical questions are not asked either in PT or mains. Questions asked in PT or mains are particularly based on fundamental understanding of economics and recent economic news. So for that matter, you can stick to Hindu also, you can stick to Indian Express also. These are the two newspapers which civil services are normally referring in current time. Okay? But to the extent news is concerned, suppose RBI has announced its new monetary policy, which was done on 6th of April 2023. So Hindu or Indian Express can't give you different ideas, because they will simply print the changes which were announced by RBI in its monetary policy, or they can simply share with you the views and comments of RBI governor and other members of monetary policy committee. Whether you are referring Hindu or newspaper, ultimately to be sure and to have authentic news, you are advised to visit website of RBI. Simply put, once you are visiting website of RBI, it hardly matters whether you referred Hindu or Indian Express. Did you understand? Or for our kind of people, we refer newspaper to have a track of things. What is going to happen tomorrow, next week, next month, after 2 months in India and abroad. And accordingly, we keep tracking of the events and we visit directly the original website. We don't depend on any newspaper, okay, due to different reasons, because we as a teacher and as an author are supposed to refer primary reference books, primary references. Newspapers are secondary references, news magazines are tertiary references, third grade references, and then coming to coaching material, they are fourth grade. Okay, so you are always advised to refer primary source materials, that is government official website, government documents, first thing, the most important thing. Okay, then why we have an eye on newspaper? Because they inform you that this event has occurred. Now this is your duty to cover the news event going on the authentic website of the official source. Okay, no need to read economic times. Tanil, you are confused. I told you to first develop fundamental understanding of economics and then economic policies of government of India. Nothing more than that. There is no need to refer economic times or financial express or financial times. No need. Okay. My book on economy, they give you update of latest official events. But once the book has been published, its new edition will be published next year only. So in between whatever exams takes place, you are supposed to keep yourself updating. Suppose I will cover one monetary policy, but as you know, monetary policies come every second month, because it is a bi-monthly monetary policy. So one latest monetary policy I include in my book. But what after the next policy? Next to next policy, you are supposed to update yourself by visiting the website of Reserve Bank of India. Clear? Arun Sal, sir, will these videos on your current affairs playlist be enough for economics in prelims? Actually, Arun, these classes are on current affairs. It doesn't mean I am covering current affairs of economy. No, that is not the case. I am just giving you idea how to cover current affairs. Since I am expert of economics, so naturally I would like to share with you more examples from Indian economy, economic development and social development in India. It doesn't mean that these sessions are on current affairs. These sessions are related to current affairs. But I am not covering all current affairs required for this year's PT. That is not the case. For that, you need to keep in touch with media on daily basis and keep jotting down few useful notes and keep revising them and keep introspecting. This is the news on Indian economy. In which way questions might be asked in this year's PT? This is what you are supposed to do. Okay? And same newspaper you are using for political news, news related to governance, for geography, environment, polity, history, it all, everything. So for everything, you are not supposed to refer a different kind of journal. Some people start referring economic and political weekly. That is totally useless and wastage of time. Totally wastage of time. Clear? So, Arun, I aim to give you tips on current affairs. How you should prepare for current affairs in the right way. It never aims to cover current affairs on economy. No, current affairs on economy, I keep covering in my class, in my course on daily basis. So what is new today, I share with the class the same day. Okay? But once the course is done, next month, new current affairs will appear. So my aim remains how to connect my course with current happenings. And my aim remains how to make a student understand how to establish a relationship between the course I am conducting and daily economic events which are happening out there, so that after course is finished, they are easily able to update their knowledge. Clear? Because a student are going to write PT in 2024, 2025, and they join course in 2022, 2022. So I provide them backbone of general studies economics. I develop them among them basic understanding of economics and relate the basic understanding of economics with Indian economy and society, then government documents, and then daily events. So it is a kind of concoction of many things. Clear? Actually, every newspaper covers business and commerce news. But from business and commerce news also, on few occasions, questions have been asked. But I always repeatedly say this examination is about government news. Okay? This exam is all about official economic news. So official economic events don't happen every day and daily basis. So keep waiting for your news to appear in media, because in media, government news only appears once government of India has gone for some changes. Naturally. Okay? It doesn't mean that every day you will get dozens of economic news. No, you read 1 month newspaper, you get 5, 6 to 10 news items for your PT, for your main. You should develop that knack and that eye to know this. Clear? So, general perception about current affairs for an examination which is taking place annually is key. Read and refer 1 year's news items of economy. You should be safe. But this is general perception. Now let us see actually what is implied meaning of current affairs. Come to my next slide. It's varied meanings. Varied meanings. Current affairs, if you have a look on the questions which have been asked in previous years, you come to know it has got many meanings. It doesn't mean only news items of last 12 to 13 months. This is wrong perception. And you always know that general perception is normally wrong perception. Clear? So, one typical style of UPSC is it asks you question using such kind of sentence. Such and such thing which was recently in news. UPSC asks you कि standing deposit facility news. eh, Select the correct statements related to standing deposit facility rate which was recently in news, and they give you 2, 3 to 4 statements. You are supposed to pick the correct statement. This is general way to ask question. It means कि UPSC in last many years how it has asked questions. So generally you will find कि recently in news such terms are used. Okay? If you analyze the meaning of recently, if you analyze the meaning of recently, you will remain surprised. Recently did not mean only last year. It meant 2 years, 3 years, 4 years back also. Imagine, and recent is nothing, but you call it current. It means that for UPSA, current affairs doesn't mean only last 1 year. Current affairs for UPSC doesn't mean only last year. Rather, it may mean last to last year, last to last year also. See the confusion. Okay? It means the current has got an implied meaning also. It means कि it's hidden meaning. It's hidden meaning. It's applied meaning. It's applied meaning. This is what I mean. How much current should current affairs be? So there is no guarantee. If this exam is taking place once every year, the current event means news events of last 1 year only. There is no such guarantee. Be careful. Okay? I give you an example. The another meaning of current affairs is that, and recent is that, suppose a government came in center, and a new government came in center in 2014. This government comes back in 2019 and continuing to be in power. It will be in power till 2024. It might get re-elected, it might not get re-elected. But see the story. It means कि I consider कि from 2014 to 2019 to 2023, all are current. All are current. Why I am saying this thing? Is suppose a scheme is there, that is Make in India. Make in India scheme was launched in September 2014. Suppose he related to Make in India scheme of 2014, some important development occurred now. Important development occurred occurred in 2023. So this event might be asked to you. This will be known as current affairs. Imagine you may see a question in PT on Make in India. The difference will be if they won't ask you about the aims and objectives of Make in India directly in 2023. UPSC might frame a question which is on Make in India, but it will be totally modern question from the modern point of view. This is the inherent meaning, hidden meaning of current affairs. I hope you got the point. Okay? I hope you got the point. Estanil, it is floor of the liquidity adjustment facility corridor. You are correct. You got it right. Okay? So what I mean to say, current affairs for your examination doesn't mean exactly news events of last year or 13 months, which I told you in my first slide. It has got many meanings. Normally, it is 1 to 2 to 3 years. Suppose ki RBI is trying to control inflation in India for the last 2 years. The last 2 years will be considered as current and recent. Did you understand? Ab Swachh Bharat Mission, a very old scheme launched by this government. Related to Swachh Bharat Mission, second phase has been launched. So naturally, its third phase might be launched. Ab Swachh Bharat Mission cannot be called an event which occurred last year. But on Swachh Bharat Mission, a question might be asked. Clear? Good evening, Yashwant. Welcome to the session. So I hope you are getting my point. The reason for the government of 2014, the reason is anything. Whatever policy government launched in 2014 and onwards, all are current. All can be referred as recently in news. See the confusion. See the confusion. The corona vaccines and vaccine development related to COVID-19 pandemic started making news in 2020. But in 2023 also, a question can be expected on the vaccine. It means ki you have been asked a question on a spread of 3 years. How can you be sure? Ki current affairs means last 1 year, which religiously IAS aspirants do. That is why they fail to qualify the exam at PT level itself. Those who have analyzed the real meaning of recent word, they are able to excel in the exam, and rest naturally will have to fail the exam. Clear? Now, what is the mantra for this year's prelim with example? I have quoted some example over there. What is mantra basically? Mantra I give you first. First, you should track what was in news between May 2022 to May 2023. This is first. index. Second indicator for you should be what is new. What is new for economic survey 22-23, union budget 23-24, and India 2023. What is new in this survey? What is new in this budget? And what is new in 2023 India? Now the problem is that what is new you can only understand once you have read previous year's economic survey, union budget, and India 2022. It means it is a kind of connectivity. What is new for them? Third is basically which which schemes, programs, yojanas, yojanas, campaigns, campaigns, missions, etc. have been in news, have been in news all the time, all the time since 2014. This is very deep rooted thing. Since the new government came in power, which of its yojanas, schemes, programs, campaigns, missions have been appearing in news repeatedly? Questions might be asked on them. Here I gave you example of Make in India. Not only this, related to Make in India, which is about enhancing manufacturing share of India's economy. But on this occasion, India's Prime Minister took a pledge also while launching this scheme in 2014. He told, in India, tax department doesn't have trust on taxpayers. I want to change this. And in process of enhancing level of trust of tax department on the taxpayers, multiple steps have been taken since then. It means a pledge was taken in 2014, but a very important development happened in 2021-2022 when government announced for the first time taxpayers charter. Now imagine the root of the question is in 2014, but question will be asked from the news of 2021-2022. See the grammar of understanding what exactly current affairs is. I hope you are getting my point, what I mean. So don't fool yourself. Current affairs means just news items of last year, which normally you are convinced and taught by experts and directors of coaching institute. That is not the play. And numerous material, mass material is available in market on footpath on current affairs. Okay, current affairs magazine of numerous institutes, current affairs magazine published by many agencies and media houses. Multiple things are there, and you are rather flooded by information. You are bombarded by information. You get totally confused and you get totally lost. What is current affairs for me and what is not current affairs for me? I warn you, first follow this technique. What exactly current affairs means? The most important thing, you are supposed to track official news. Official news, it means directly government of India, its ministries, its ministries, its commissions, etc. Rest of the news items are just time pass. Okay? Actually, paperless, faceless tax payment is one step, Anil. Okay? This is one of the steps which have been taken by Government of India in this regard, but this is prominent one. But I was talking about taxpayers charter, ombudsman for taxpayer. These things I am talking about. And on taxpayer charters, still a question is to be asked in PT exam. So for this year's prelim exam, you should be setting your priority accordingly. First go here, then go here, and then go here. And keep very careful. You are supposed to track only official news. Students get confused. In place of tracking news, in confusion, in confusion, aspirants start. Aspirants start tracking, tracking the views given by media houses. This is total wastage of time. On views, questions are never asked. And even if in main exam you see if views are required, so they don't mean official, they don't mean media views. What is your view going by the government aims and government objectives? Did you understand? So this is mantra of targeting your PT exam, and my aim was specifically clearing your confusion to what exactly current affairs means. So be very careful about schemes, programs, yojana, campaigns and missions. What you are supposed to know about them? You are supposed to simply know. You are supposed to simply know about their aims and objectives. It is enough to crack the question in PT and create a quality answer at men's level in general studies as well as in essay as well as in interview. One thing you might not be knowing ki what to ask of general studies. Even optional questions, even optional questions expect from you to be fully update with the recent development in the field of your optional. Suppose it is medical science is your optional. So you are supposed to be updated with all recent events in medical science. How your knowledge of medical science can help Government of India provide Indian masses better healthcare services. Did you understand? Similarly, PSIR, sociology, history, geography, public and name an optional subject. Whenever you are writing answers in the main exam, you are supposed to use updated information regarding the area and field. Only then you will get good marks. Otherwise, 35%, 40% marks are allotted by exams. And you are supposed to come out of textbooks. The knowledge which you have acquired with the help of textbooks, you should be capable to connect them with the current happenings of your field and area from where you have picked your optional. Okay? My optional is medical science, sir. But medical science is mostly static as far as UPSC exam is concerned. Who told you? Tanil, this is your wrong perception. Suppose in medical science you are writing something on communicable diseases, virulent diseases, so you are supposed to refer the recent diseases which are creating challenge for India. Naturally, because normally the textbooks you refer, they are all foreign author textbooks, but you are supposed to add information from your side, make your knowledge of medical science relevant to healthcare situation and challenges of India. I hope, Tanil, you are getting my point, what I mean. From previous year question paper, you can see that questions don't ask you to relate them with India's requirement, but this is your duty. Whatever you are writing in medical science in your optional paper, if you think you can connect that subject matter to India's situation of healthcare or future challenge, then you are supposed to do that to fetch extraordinary marks. Because UPSC is not selecting a doctor, UPSC is selecting a doctor who will be suitable for Indian bureaucracy as a doctor. Did you understand what I mean to say? This is what I mean. So what to ask of general studies? Even the papers of optionals are requiring current updation. So at least you should have an eye on India's budget through which you come to know about healthcare challenges. You should have an eye on economic survey. You should have an eye on India 2023 because question setters will refer these documents for sure and accordingly they will prepare their model answer. The answer you wrote there, they are based on a textbook, but they are creating model answers which are based on textbook plus recent developments both. So you wrote also, but you could not fetch good marks. This is the challenge. So you are supposed to do this updation in optional also. What to ask of PT? Devanshu has asked a question. Exactly, sir. You said it absolutely right. Most of us are making our views through editorials. So please suggest what should be the right approach to read editorials. Yes, Tanil, it will help you. You will get extraordinary marks if you do that. Okay. And Devanshu, if you ask me frankly, I never suggest IS aspirant to read editorials because what happens? Every editor and every newspaper has got its view on government policy. You can't refer half a dozen newspapers to have varied opinion and varied views. So I simply suggest you forget editorials, just read news and make views according to your perception because you are aware enough. You have read Constitution of India, what is preamble and what is fundamental right and DPSP of India's Constitution. Your opinion, your views should be correct according to preamble of our Constitution, fundamental rights. And if you want to make an opinion that is futuristic in design, even for futuristic opinion also, a direction is already there. That is DPSP of our Constitution. I gave you a hint because if you are reading one newspaper or two newspaper, so you got only two views. But what about opinions of other editors of other newspapers? What is your opinion of a foreign media and foreign editor? Confusing? So forget editorials. You read newspaper for news only, not for views. Be careful. Okay? And I am going to schedule my next session on newspaper itself. Don't worry for that. Okay? And keep in touch. This is some info about my upcoming course on General Studies Economy. Those who wish to join, they are welcome to join it. Thank you very much. See you next week. Sir, Yojana magazine is also a compilation of views, opinions by experts. So, is it advisable to refer? Sure, Devanshu, you should. But Yojana and Kurukshetra won't give you any new update because they are based on previous year economic survey and budget, latest budget and survey. But their beauty is that the complexity of surveys and budget, they simplify for you. You won't get any new thing, but you get a way to understand things. Clear? Because Yojana and Kurukshetra don't give you any more updated information. They are based on the latest volume of economic survey and union budget, but they are important documents. I always recommend a student to read that. Okay? If you watch my classes on General Studies Economics workshop, I talk about readings and references. Which readings and references aspirants should refer for preparation of General Studies Economics and General Studies in general. So take some time out and watch my recent GS workshop, which has been released for April 2020.